In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use RISC OS Pyromaniac to investigate a problem with a module. I'm going to revisit an old bug that I diagnosed last year and show the steps I went through to get there. The problem was reported in the RISC OS Open forums. The RISC OS Open resolver was broken in some way. The reporter believed that there was something up with the host being looked up case sensitively, or possibly not at all. This is the forum post that they originally reported it with. Someone has helpfully given a link to the changelog, and so we're going to start from there and we're going to see what we can find. So let's open that in a new window and have a see. Okay, so this is a repository that we've got. Oh no, we don't want the change number yet, we want to check it out first. So let's get the repository and check it out. Git clone something.git. There we go. All right, so we've got the resolver blob checked out, and we've also got the basic and C library modules, so we're going to use those later. It's obviously handy to have basic lying around because we can do a lot of debugging with it. So we just have a look in the resolver blob, we can see what we've got here. First thing we want to do is we want to get that SHA I was looking at, copy that, and we want to check out that version. Here we go. Yeah, we've switched to a detached head state. That just means that we've checked out a specific version. Okay. Right, now this is a partially linked AOF file. So we've got standalone version and the resolver module. SA is the standalone version which is used for building RAM versions, and the resolver regular is the one that's used for when you want to put it into ROM. So we want to link this so we can actually get a proper relocatable module. So I want to use the link command to do that. AOF/resolver SA. I want to link this with stubs, and I want to output it as resolver FFA. Okay, and it's failed because it needs some extra symbols. That's because it has some extra resources in here. Yeah, command help and messages. So we're going to need to create those resources. So let's have a look at, not messages, at makefile and see what we do. Okay, so in order to install it, it's going to link it just like I was trying to do, but it's going to add in the messages. And to do that, it needs REST messages. That relies on the messages and command help files we saw. I'm assuming fappend just joins two files together to make another one. We don't need to quite do it that way. We can use cat. And then they run RESTgen on it. Okay, that's not so bad. So let's do that. So first, we want to join the two parts together. So resources, UK, what are the files? Command help and resources, UK messages. Joined messages. What's that look like? That looks fair enough. Okay. And then we need to go and run RESGen on it. So RISC OS RESGen. I know that RESGen needs 332. It needs some APCS options. Non-reentrant. Software stack. Right, the syntax here is resources. $@ is the thing we want to create. So I'm going to call that, what am I going to call that? AOF/resources, I suppose. The file I want to put in there is called joined messages, and I want it to appear in resources, resources.resolver.messages. I think that's right. Yeah, it's generated a file. Yep, it's generated a file. Cool. Okay, so let's try linking that. Where's my link command gone? It's in the history. yeah, that link command, if we just add into that aof/resources, aha, we have a resolver module. Okay, let's go and run it. So pyrodev load module. I want the C library, and I want to have 0 page available to me as the C library needs it. 0 page enable, oops, enable equals true, and load module resolver. And then once we've loaded it all, I want us to drop to the command line with GOS. So, okay, we've started. Let's have a look at resolver. Right, we don't have the get host command. That's not built in. So we're going to have to call the SWI ourselves. And that needs basic, and I've not loaded basic this time. So jump out again, and then we'll just load module basic. And then drop into basic. And then we want to call a resolver SWI, which of course I can't remember off the top of my head. So we will go to the PRMs, which I have already got loaded here. All right, so I want to find resolver. Contents. Okay, that's a bit too long and wordy. Let's just have a skim through this. File systems, running file systems, networking. Networking resolver, there we go. Right. The resolver module. So within the resolver, I'm looking for the SWI section. Let's just scroll down to that. Domains, search domains. Services. Ooh, get host by name, that's the one we want. Okay then. So I want get host by name. R1 is the pointer to the host name. R0 is the number, error number, and R1 is a host ent structure. Okie dokie, let's do that. So sys resolver get host by name. In R1 we have the thing we want to resolve, and we want, is it R0? R0 is the error number, yes. Host ent. Okay. Okay, that's an interesting error message. So it looks like it's failed to look up a token in the messages file, which probably is because we haven't actually got a resource-fs that can store the resources. So the actual token it's looked up is EO2, and then it's printed out what the registers R0, R1, R2, and R3, or the values that should go into %0, 1, 2, 3. So, okay, that's not what we're looking for. So let's just not worry about that for a second. It's trying to look it up in the host file, but it's reporting this error. Hang on, we don't actually have a host file. So I guess we're going to have to show that. So show inet star. Yeah, we don't actually have an inet dbase path. And because we don't have that, we won't have a host file at all. So we're going to need to create one, which isn't too hard. So let's do that. Edit, oops, start edit hosts. 127.0.0.1 localhost. There we go. Save that. Star set inet dbase $path to $. And then if we do type inet, oops, star type inet dbase :hosts, that's our host file. You can see the pipe I, meaning I press tab in there, which is correct for the host file format. Okay, so we've changed the host file now. We probably need to reconfigure the system. So let's do resolver config, because that's what it's meant for. All right, let's do that command again. There it is. And we still get that odd error. All right, so let's have a see what that error actually means, because, yeah, EO2 isn't very helpful. Really, it should be EO2 colon and then a proper message. So even if the messages can't be opened, we can still get a message, but apparently it's been lazy here. Doesn't matter. We can just look at the joined messages file. And EO2 is no DNS service configured. It shouldn't really need to have a resolver configured in order to look at the host file, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't in select. But anyway, let's do that. Starset inet $resolvers 1.2.3.4, and again we'll do a resolver config because I don't think it notices when you just change it. And we'll try looking it up again. Okay. It's hung. I'm going to press Control-C escape to get out of that. I'm assuming that means it's going out to the internet to resolve things. And obviously it's not going to get anything from 1.2.3.4. So that might be a symptom of what the reporter was saying. It shouldn't have been going out to the network anyway. It should have gone straight to that host file that we just configured. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at the debugging we can add. So Pyromaniac, if we can spell it properly, Pyromaniac debug will list all of our debug options. And what we're looking for is some debug options that we can use to debug whatever filing system operations it's using, so we can see what's going on here. So if we just scroll up here and find file system things, here's a bunch of things all related to file system. And OS file will tell us about any OS file operations. An OS file stream will tell us about the OS find and OS args and some of the GBPB operations as well, or the actual data is all handled by bytestream. So we're just going to turn those two on and then we'll see what happens. So if we do star Pyromaniac debug, what was it called? OS file and OS file stream. I think it was OS file stream, already forgotten. OS file stream, yeah, that's right. Turn those on. Okay, so it's probably going to have cached the lookup that we just did. And so we want to just go and reconfigure the module again. So let's do that. Resolver config. And that shouldn't have happened. That's saying that it's trying to look up what the contents of the file etc hosts is. It shouldn't be looking at etc hosts. It should be looking at inetdbase hosts. It's been configured wrongly. And so if we actually try the resolution again, we can see it's tried to open that file. That shouldn't happen. It's got the wrong file. That's why it can't find anything in the host file. It's looking in the wrong place. And that's basically the bug. That is what has gone wrong. It has got the wrong configured file to use. When it was investigated by other people, it turned out that was indeed the case. And there wasn't a huge amount of debugging going on there, but that is how used Pyromaniac to find that particular problem. Finding that without Pyromaniac might have been a little bit more tricky. Might have had to go and poke into what was sitting on the vector and try and debug what was going on with that. But relatively easy with Pyromaniac. There you go. I hope that was vaguely informative and helpful. Thank you for watching.